love that kazoo thing, man. Hello and welcome into the SorareAndrews podcast brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined once again, I'm a good friend Andy Black here, Black on Sorare, today to talk about the age-old question, how to win Sorare. Andy, this is something that I have thought about for a long time. And it's not like I brought it up to you as a topic a few days ago, but I think there's a way to win this game. And I was thinking of it more like a video game that like you get to a certain point where you like beat the last level and it's like you've done everything that you can in the game.
You get the high score and you put your initials in and yeah.
Exactly. And then when the next person comes in to play Buck Hunter, they see your initials there and they're like, oh man, I gotta beat that. But Sorare is not really a game like that because we don't necessarily, they're not levels really. I mean, there's progression and stuff like that, but it was like, what would have to be done for you to be like, I don't need to play this game anymore because I have won everything that I like want to win. And that doesn't mean like winning everything. Like there are plenty of like tier 3 cards that nobody wants to win, and winning those like shouldn't necessarily like help you to win this game. And so I don't know why I picked 5, because once I picked 5, I realized maybe that wasn't the right number, but it was like, I think if there should be like 5 cards on the platform that if you win those 5, like you win and you can just say like, I've conquered this game and what that's what it is. The problem is that, well, there are a bunch of problems. One is that it's really hard to win in this game. So it's like, it's not even like you get to like choose your rewards either. So like you could win something that would allow you to win a card that's in the pool of these cards that we're going to talk about. So I don't think this is like a defeatable game. Like, I don't think you can defeat this game.
I disagree. I think Sorare won the game.
So he might be, did he actually get all of the ones that we're going to, I don't know if he did.
Yeah.
We can look back, thankfully. We will look back. I will say that. But so I think there's this thing that there are 4 good, like 4 cards that are very clear that should be what we all strive to win. And obviously there's a really good chance none of us get them. So like, it's not like we should feel bad that we're not like necessarily competing for these cards. I'll spoil it a little bit that Andy and I talked about this before. All of the cards that we think are the best cards to win are super rares. And so like, if you only play limited and you're like, all right, well, I'll just never win this game. But like the idea is that like you win enough in limited, you to move up to rare, you win enough in rare, you go to pro to super rare, unique. And
that's the idea. But should you be able to win? Should anybody be able to win the best cards on the platform?
Yeah. At some point. I don't think you should be able to win super rares with like the tier 0 super rares with limiteds. But I think if you play limited well enough and you progress and you just keep progressing, then eventually.
What if there was like a progressive score or something, like a high score system over the course of a season, and like the winner at the end got that?
No, I don't want that.
No.
No. I think the game works really well right now and allows us to win in all different ways. And you should be able to take those winnings and make your lineups better so you compete in higher competitions, and we move on from there. Before we get into, thank you everyone who has joined us in the chat. If you guys can please hit the like button on the video, that's as always really helpful. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, somehow you're like watching this and you're like, oh, I watch this all the time, and you haven't subscribed, please do so. So we had talked about how we were going to make this list of 5. I asked you what you thought. I had an idea. We were going to do a Twitter poll, but I didn't want to like necessarily open it up to everyone. I attempted to do a Google form and made me realize I just don't know how to do them. So I actually went out and I DM'd a lot of people that I think are really, really good in this game, what they thought. I asked Nellis too. And sorry, I've been sitting on that one. I can't even, anyway. And I actually kind of expected everyone to say the same 5. And then I was like, maybe it's going to be 4 of the 5. And it turned out that it was actually like 3 are clear, and one that we thought was like definitely on the list, a few people did not include.
Really?
So we're going to get into that because
all right, you have the teases out now.
So it's an interesting question because like if you only play like Champion Asia and it's like all that you care about, then the question wasn't like, what are the 5 cards you want to win? It's like, if we made a list of like, these are the 5 cards to win, what should they be so that you defeat this game?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I was presenting this question is like the Kylian Mbappe super rare is 1. Like that is the best card you can win on the platform.
Yeah, like the Holy Grail card.
Exactly. If I remember correctly, there have only been 3 rewarded ever.
Wow.
And I believe Wen Moon is the most recent winner of it. So there are obviously more than 3 Mbappe super rares, but I believe there were only 3 rewards. And I think Zora did win one before he joined Sorare. I'm trying to look at it now. So the way that I wanted to go beyond that was kind of like, are there any super rares that are obvious that everybody would want to win beyond the Mbappe? The Messi super rare was like next. And after that, it was kind of like there was an agreement, but I'm actually not sure why this is the answer. It's kind of a weird thing. So like, I don't know exactly how I'm going to phrase this, but it feels like the 5 cards should be like also super collectible. That like if somebody was like, I want to collect cards, what are the best cards to get? And you're like, well, you should get the Mbappe super rare. And it's like, okay, that's obvious. And it's like, you should probably get a Messi. And they're like, oh yeah, of course I'll take the GOAT. The next one that was in everybody's answer was a Joshua Kimmich super rare. And a Kimmich super rare feels like a card that you need to win the game, meaning to help you win on your journey. But like, if you were like, I'm a collector, which card should I collect? Is Kimmich on this list? Like, do people really care about like some random German midfielder who just happens to be elite, but like he's just a non-goal scoring guy?
I don't know enough about the collectible market to even begin to answer that, so I won't even take a stab.
It was just like I took that, like I thought Kimmich super rare would be on the list, and maybe it's because
I think it depends on what your definition of like winning the game is. Like winning a 50 ETH card, is that winning the game? Because that's like what that is, right? I don't know, probably 30, 40. It's a lot.
So, but my thought was like, if there was no game and these were all just collectibles, Mbappe and Messi would be there. But I don't think Kimmich would. And so it's kind of, I don't know. It was like, that was a weird one to me. Chani just said, I'd say a Ronaldo super rare is probably more collectible than Kimmich, which I totally get. But he's also
collectible. But is that the definition of winning?
I don't know. I don't know. So Sam was saying, why did we pick super rare as the metric for winning? Most of these cards are only achievable by winning D1 Champ Europe, which is such a small percentage of users in the game and in general. But like, I think that's the point. Like, those are the best cards in the game. And so like they're offered in the best competition. And yes, very few of us, very few people enter those. But I think the goal for everyone in this game should be that, right? Like, obviously it's not realistic.
I thought the goal was to win as much money as possible.
But isn't that by winning an Mbappe super rare and a Messi super rare and a Kimmich super rare?
It could be, or, like if that's not within your risk profile of going and playing D1 Champion Europe, then
this has nothing to do with risk profiles.
Yes, it does. It 100% does.
I think it's whether it's a 5-year goal or a 50-year goal, shouldn't all of our goal in this game to eventually be good enough to win an Mbappe Super Rare?
That's not really my goal. I mean, would I love to do that? Yes. I would need to win as a rare card first.
Sure. And your rare card,
but I don't think
help you get
I don't
to.
think that's like on my list of like must do's before I sell my gallery. Like,
I just think your list is too short. Then I'm honestly of the opinion that I think everyone should come into this game with the dream of winning a Kylian Mbappe Super Rare, because we think it's the best reward on the platform. Like, don't you play? It doesn't mean that you're competing for it right now, but like each step.
Can you win? Can you win him realistically? Has anybody ever won that card in All-Star Super Rare?
In All-Star Super Rare,
because they'll give out a star there every once in a while, but I highly doubt that they've ever given that card there.
Let me check. I don't remember what the last. So let me just pull up the When Moon one, since that was recent. Reward. So this was game week. Gosh, it was like a month ago. Not even a month ago. When Moon, December 15th. When was that? That was during the World Cup, Global Cup.
So that was that maybe the Super Rare division there?
Here we go. Hold on. December 15th would have been match day. I don't even have the dates. This is annoying. All-Star Unique. I think it was, yeah. All-Star Unique is where it was.
Okay.
So there's All-Star. With an incredible lineup of Cardenas, Jordi Alba, Bruno Fernandes, and Enzo Fernandez uniques, and a Messi Super Rare. Always love a good Fernandez stack, even though they spell it differently.
That's fun.
Let me double check this. Mbappe International Special Super Rare. Oh, it's the International Special Super Rare. So like the Global Cup game.
Yeah.
What a wild place to give that reward. My God.
That's where he won that?
That's where he won it.
So
International Special Super Rare.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So
that was so the lineup I said was not actually
Super Rare of Mbappe's caliber in D2.
What's that?
Sam said you will never win a Tier 0 Super Rare of Mbappe's caliber in D2. So that sounds like that was D2,
right? I guess technically that was D2.
Special D2.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Good point. Let me see if I can pull that one up. What was that? Game week 328, which wasn't really a game week.
Yeah, St. Louis City 6. FC full squad.
So it was five super rares: Hugo Lloris, Dejan Lovren, Luka Modric, Antoine Griezmann, and Lionel Messi.
Well,
super rares. That's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, you don't even need to get to the unique division. 0 uniques used to win that card. Yeah. And here they are.
Every 4 years. Every 4 years.
I'm just saying.
I think Sam kind of mentioned that like maybe the discussion should be like at the rare level. I think everyone's like description of like what they want to do to win the game is like unique to them. Everybody's got their own goals. Everybody's got their own like definition. So I don't know. I think it's hard for us to just be like, these are the 5 cards you win to win the game.
So the reason why I'm pushing back on that is if you win these 5 cards, and again, like it might not be 5 even, but it's like at that point, you're not playing for anything other than just to like win again of like whatever you won. Whereas like in a rare card, like,
So now that Mbappe has won 1 World Cup, he should just retire from international football because he's already won it.
No. If he wins 5, then I think you could walk away. That's the point. It's more just at what point, like if you win, I'm trying to see here. So Bambi won it in U23 unique. And looks like Dream Villain also won one. So yeah, it's just more like if you won an Mbappe rare, you'd be like, sweet, I'm going to go play this so that I can win better cards. One of which hopefully is the Mbappe super rare.
Well, I wouldn't be using that card to
win not directly. Cards. Yeah, no,
I would
not directly.
Be using that card to win worse cards.
Well, that's my point. At what point do you have cards good enough where you're just like, literally anything else I win is worse than what I have won?
Yeah.
Like there, for all of us, there's always a better card that we could have won. And so you defeat this game by getting to the point where like you have won all of the cards that are better than what you have. And so I can't believe it took me 16 minutes to get to that. That's where I wanted to describe this. At what point have you won? Like, which cards have you won that at that point you're like, I can't win anything better than this? And not to say that like winning more of those or guys who are just below and you can sell them, sure. But we're not here for the money, Andy. We're here to win JPEGs that make us happy.
Yeah.
So those 5 cards. You and I kind of agreed. Well, we definitely agreed on Mbappe. We definitely agreed on Messi. We definitely agreed on Kimmich. And there was a fourth one that we. So you and I both said Neymar. Everyone else I asked left Neymar off. Like everyone. Even Nellis. And so now I was like, all right. So, but we had those 4, and then we were like, is the 5th one Vinicius Jr.? And I had other people like not even include Vinicius. Some did. And the other ones that came up that I'll look it up in a second, but the other ones I definitely remember, Chani, I asked Chani, he included Bellingham, which Basil P also included, and Musiala, which like I hadn't even considered, but it's like,
China's definitely got some love for Musiala there.
For sure. So if anybody in chat like wants to throw in other names, like feel free. But I wonder how many of the cards that we're talking about, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, that like we think they're great rewards because they like help us in the game. Like Luis Mendez says Carlos Heel, but like you don't win that, and you're just like, oh, okay, you are excited to win a Carlos Heel so that you can try to win the cards that we're actually talking about. And so it's things like that I wonder how many cards there actually are. Like I was thinking of it in an SO5 way, but like winning a goalkeeper, you're just like, oh, okay, I guess I could put a lineup in now. But like doesn't feel like you win the game when you win whoever. I don't even know who the most expensive goalie is now. Is it Donnarumma?
Yeah, I don't know.
But like
Breck shout out in chat.
Who?
Breck Shea.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. I know our friend.
We got a club right now, I think.
Yeah. So Surface just brought it up, and Chani had thrown in Erling Haaland as one of the responses. There have been Haaland super rares rewarded, I believe. I should probably look that up too. We obviously don't have them now as of January 5th, 2023. There are a lot of rumors we might get them though. Get some new ones.
On January 20th?
Yeah. Right after the Saudi League announcement. So yeah, the whole idea was like, I don't think any of us are going to win the game like this. I can't even find Zora's account. My guess is they like shut the whole thing down once he joined them. But I was trying to see if he had won all of those. I'm pretty sure somebody had won Mbappe and Haaland, but I don't know. As I scroll through who is this? Dream Villains rewards that are just incredible.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like there are that many others that are on that level that like you have to win them, or that like you want to win them that are that high. And I feel like everybody is like throwing at like Enzo Fernandez, like Benzema, or some of the Van de Voort. I don't know. I don't feel like you win those cards and you feel like you've like accomplished something great.
See, I think that's just everybody having their own personal goal, personal opinion of what winning is.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. I think there's too much emphasis on because all of this game is like I want to win something to like make me better, like make my lineups better, and so that's the way we think. But it's like if you were getting to a point where like these are the, if you win these cards, you win it all, then what are those cards?
Like when Quinny won Kyogo, was he winning that day?
Quinny winning Kyogo is like one of my favorite videos. If anybody hasn't seen it, I assume it's on Quinny's channel. Go check it out of when he wins Kyogo, because like I've never seen anyone happier to win a reward. Now I don't see everybody win their rewards anyway, but
yeah,
that one was great, and so go check that out. So maybe Kyogo's on his list. Maybe if maybe he wins 5 Celtic super rares, whoever they are, and he's like, I'm good. I'm not playing anymore.
Gotta hang his boots up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I guess you'd be hanging like a clipboard up or something. I don't know.
Marco says, I think the greatness is in beating all other managers, not the card itself. The reward is the cherry on the cake.
I kind of agree.
Okay, that's fair.
And I think that's kind of the Nanzo take, because Nanzo kind of has that opinion, I feel like. And I'm kind of with Nanzo, and that might just be like a whale take, where it's just like, I don't care about the card reward or whatever. I just want to win. And to me, there's no grosser feeling than coming in like, and this is gonna sound so whaley and horrible, but there's no worse feeling than coming in like second or third. I don't care what division it is, but we play to win the game. Like the classic Herm Edwards take. We play to win the game. And when you come in second or third, it's like you're looking at your lineup and you're like, man, if I would have played him here or him here or captain this guy instead, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like, how could I have won? Could I have won with a different decision? Could I have won?
So to go back to the Nanzo thing, for anybody watching this or listening that doesn't listen or watch the End Product podcast, go check that out. Nanzo was the guest last week. So Nanzo has won 1,190 rewards on Sorare. If you're not familiar with him, I think he's the best Sorare player on the platform. And he doesn't have the biggest gallery, but I think he's the best at the game. And Sean doesn't listen to this, so Sean would argue with me that it's actually himself, but like I think it's Nanzo. So Nanzo was talking about that he's won, and he's finished first 86 times, which itself is just crazy. I assume a lot of those are in like the unique division and super rare division, where people with his type of gallery, it's easier to win because there are fewer people. But where was I going with that? Oh, so he talked about that like he likes the feeling of finishing first more than the reward. It's literally what was just said. Like the reward is secondary to being like, I beat you all. And he's very open about like, he plays to win the game. He's going to play by the rules. And if the rules favor him, he's going to play it. And that's it. And so everybody go check that out. Subscribe to End Product. So Quinny said he made a highlight video of the Kyogo win. I want a Sorare super rare favorite player for when everybody's done here. So check that out. Absolutely. So I just think we get to a point like we and Nanzo's not even there either, but like I just don't feel like we ever get to a point where you're just like, okay, I've won everything. And not that you stop, but it's just kind of like we all have the dreams of like winning certain cards, and we're never going to get all of the cards that we want. And so that's kind of the fun part of the game of like, I'm buying limited, certain limited cards so that I can place better in limited so that I can sell some and move up, get better rares. And like, that's the whole progression. And the progression is like, which cards are we trying to win? And it's like Mbappe, Messi, and then kind of whatever you want after that.
Yeah. And I'm going to steal kind of a few thoughts here. Is winning maybe just getting to the point where you can't win cards to improve your gallery? You're selling those cards and just taking profit. Like your lineups are so good, no matter what you win, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to sell it and take the money.
I mean, that's basically what Zora did by the end, right? Like, I don't
Pretty
think
much, right?
so. I feel like people on Zora's former level, like they still buy cards because they're just like, oh yeah, I have all this money, so I can. Yeah. Uniques come out. I mean, that's why we did like the unique auction watches and stuff, and like because there were a bunch of people with a ton of ETH that were like, yeah, I'll just buy uniques now and whatever.
Just spend 600 ETH on a JPEG.
Right. Right. I don't think we got that. $600,000 was the
that's right.
So, sir, is that what Surfer says? You've won Sorare when you've reached a point with the game, your gallery, and your bank account where you no longer sweat the daily ins and outs and can just purely enjoy the game aspect.
Kind of. It's a similar thought. I think I kind of molded that a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think I like, aren't the daily ins and outs that we sweat part of the fun?
It is part of the fun.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, like sweating out those first place wins is part of the fun.
Right. I would have no idea about that, but yeah, it sounds fun.
The Ted DiBiase of Sorare.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, perfect. Half of my fun in the game is scouting buying. Yeah, so like, I mean, again, none of us are at a point. Literally, none of us are going to be at a point where we're just like we've won everything we can. Do you think that there is a difference between winning the card that you've always wanted versus winning a bunch of other cards that you sold to help you buy the card you wanted?
I just think that like there's such a low chance of like winning the card that you want. It just doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
I always win a duplicate of a guy that I didn't want.
Can you think of how many cards you've won that you wanted?
Yeah, and usually they're like dumb. I was going to buy this dumb tier 3, and I won him now.
I have two cards. A Jonathan Mensah rare card and a Christian Burgess rare card. Those are the only two cards I remember winning, thinking to myself, I was going to buy these cards.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I've won the game yet with those two. But so the reason I kind of brought that up was when limiteds came out, I bought a bunch of what I thought were like the elite cards that I could never afford in rare, that I was like, I'm going to buy these cards and play the right way of not just buying the best cards and playing those, but buying like the best SO5 cards and helping to win Messi or Mbappe. So like at the time, these guys have since turned to dust. But at the time, it was like I bought Kikuchi, Cecilia, Hulk, and I was like, these are cards that I never, at the time, like couldn't dream of owning rares of. And I was like, I'm going to use these cards to win Messi. And like a Messi limited card was like what I wanted to win. And after a few months, I had 0 first place limited finishes. And it's hard enough to finish first. And then you're like, oh, I have to finish first, and it has to be a week where they're giving away a Messi. Mm-hmm. Because, man, do they give away some really shitty first place prizes every so often. And so I bought Messi. I like won a few cards, sold them, and I bought Messi. So I still ended up with a Messi, but I sure as shit didn't win it. And
Yeah.
so like I don't feel like I've accomplished that. I would love to win a Messi. And I can't decide if like if the goal is to win these cards or just to win enough to get these cards. And I think there's a very clear difference. And I would imagine that everybody feels better about winning those cards, right? But if you end up with them, like, does it not? Like, there are probably people who have the 5 cards we're talking about, like that have an Mbappe super rare, Messi super rare, and whatever the other 3 are. But like, if they didn't, so technically, like, they are now competing for cards worse than they have. But because they didn't win them, maybe that makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. There is a cool factor to like winning a card, and then it's kind of like I guess a trophy almost. But then again, if you're able to win like 3 things and just able to buy the thing that you wanted, that's cool too. you got the guy that you wanted to get.
Right.
In the end, you have the JPEG.
So there's a little bit of this like road to glory thing that a few people are doing. I know Nep is doing it. I think Chani's just starting that. Basically, they want to like win rewards with rewards. Like they want to be like the first owners of cards. And so I'm going to give Jimmer credit for being like the one to come up with this in Sorare, because like he gets cards and then he never sells them. So like he probably has the most like rewards from cards that he's the first owner of. But I think there is a little bit of that like, I guess it's different if you win a bunch of cards, sell them, and win another card on auction. So you're like the first owner. But I don't know. It feels like something you do for content, not for like anything else. You're like, oh yeah, I just won. This is, I want to be the first owner of this. And it's like, you're already making a very difficult game now harder by like not going out and buying cards. But I guess I do appreciate the whole, like, I'm the first person to own this card. And I think that plays into my head also of this whole, like, your success in the game should be more about what you've won, like the specific cards you win, as opposed to like the cards you have won and sold and then like bought somewhere else, I think.
Yeah, that's like their personal journey or personal way of wanting to approach the game or play the game or share the game through content. Like to me, like personally, I don't care I don't care about that at all. Like I think it's cool. It's not something that like I focus on at all. I just I've got my own thing that, and I don't even know what. Do you have goals? Like, do you sit down and you're like, my goal for Sorare is this? I don't have one.
I have a very, very specific, like, 15-point list.
Do you?
No. No,
I was like, all right, let's get that list out. Let's go over them point by point.
I don't even know what I would put on it. Like, I would like to win an Mbappe super rare. I don't enter any competitions right now that would allow me to do that. And so I guess, like, I don't.
Should we set like obviously that would be like a long-term goal, but like if you had a short-term goal, like, hey, new year, January 5th, what is Andrew Laird's goal this year?
I think I don't like doing that. There's just too much in, like, for Sorare, there's just too much like way out of my control that like if I have what I think is like the best lineup and a guy, I finished second because one of my guys got hurt. Like, did I fail this year because like?
No, but like maybe your goal is to like Steven said, win 5 times. That's a steep goal, but what if it's just like win first place this year? I'm going to do it. Like, obviously that's outside of your control, but like a little bit, but it's also like, the good decisions that you make can can steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, but like that's everyone's goal. Every lineup they set. My goal is to win.
Yeah.
With this lineup here of 5 clowns that I know will barely play. So, I mean, I have seen like Twitter is filled with people like, here are my goals for 2023.
My New Year's resolution.
Right. My New Year's resolution is to not be so bad at So Rare that I can actually win. And it's just like, I don't know. I just don't do it myself. That's all. I'm not somebody who's like super goal motivated.
Yeah, I'm not a goal guy either. But I know that a lot of people are, and I do think that like I should probably have like a not an end goal, but like what am I trying to accomplish? Just to keep playing forever? Like maybe, I don't know. It's fun. I guess.
So like Jasper just said, the goal is to have 100 ETH gallery. So if ETH goes to like $1 tomorrow, then we've all hit that goal.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that, but also like, what do you do then? Right. So it's like, then I set another goal. It's like, okay. Yeah, I've just never been a like specific goal person. Like that's just not how I'm motivated.
So when your boss told you that you had to have a yearly goal, did you just set something that was very attainable?
Sure.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've never done that before?
Yeah. Yes, I've absolutely done it before. But that's just like not what motivates me. Like,
right.
And I feel like it's difficult if you're like, my goal is to do 100 of whatever this year. And you get to 99 and you just like don't get the 100th and you're like, I'm a failure. And it's like, no, you did a lot of great stuff.
What if the goal is like something you have under like control of? Like my goal is to do 100 push-ups every day. Yeah,
I mean, I get that. But like if one day you do 99, like you failed your goal. And like for me personally, like I don't need to like feel failure for doing 99 out of 100 of something just because.
Well, you should have done one more. You did 99.
But I didn't. Right.
Why didn't you do one more?
But if I'm saying like me personally, I'm like, okay, I didn't get there today. And that's it. Yeah. Mike Basson said, I bet it wasn't to learn French. That is true. I have not specifically made that a goal because I just don't think I'm going to get there. Yeah, goals aren't motivations, but they're rather directions. This has become a very philosophical podcast.
Yes, I like that. I'm going to start repeating that. Whenever my team submits their goals for the year, I'm going to be like, just remember, goals aren't motivations.
Yeah, they're directions.
Rather directions.
Yeah, and we need to go up is what we need to do. Let's go, chat.
100 push-ups right now.
Yeah, so I think there's maybe I just look at goals differently than other people, but like it's like if you have a goal of winning like finishing first in a Sorare tournament this year and your best finish is second, like you shouldn't feel disappointed about that. No. Like that in itself is a great accomplishment. And so don't look at that as like you failed. Like I think actually the problem I have with goals are the way that people respond to not reaching their goals yet.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's a failure until it's not. And it's like, oh, that's not. Marco said 10 push-ups today and 11 tomorrow. Now we're talking. One day you'll get to 100. Let's see. Reseal. Anyone with a gallery that is at least break even is winning. Once you factor in the fun of competing, placing in rewards and beating lineups that on paper are better than mine keeps me playing. Sure. Yeah. Oh, I like this from Mike Baston. Sometimes goals. This is really turning into like one of the
Well, when you have a podcast topic of how to win Sorare, of course it's gonna turn this way.
Mike Baston. Sometimes goals are distractions because you get so focused on them that you miss other opportunities that may present themselves. It seems like just a super long fortune cookie fortune. But I might write that on the wall and put it right here. That's what I should do. Should put all these live stream chat philosophical comments up on the wall behind me here. We'll replace the football pictures. Yeah, right. Anyway, what were we talking about? Mbappe?
Goals, I think.
Goals, yeah. What's your goal for this year now? Is it a year goal or is it just like an open-ended goal for Sorare?
I think the goal is always to win. And then once I accomplish that goal, I'm going to try to win again. And then,
I just had
win. Yeah, just keep winning.
So
get first place and then do it again.
What would you like to win as your first place prize in Champion America Rare Pro?
I don't care. I just want to win.
You just want to win?
Legitimately. I don't care what the card reward realistically is. Because I know I'm getting a bucket of ETH.
I'm just going to go out and buy the card I wanted anyway.
Yeah. And if it's Carlos Gil, I will sell his ass as quickly as possible at the lowest price.
Anybody who wants a cheap Carlos Gil should just pray that Andy wins one.
Yep. I will undercut the market by like 20%.
Wow.
Gone. Yep. Gone. Be the fastest, easiest sell ever.
Such hate. Jeremy Graham said the card you should want to win is the Berkey 1 of 10 super rare in the St. Louis kit.
Yeah.
Would you rather Berkey or Klaus?
Neither, I guess. I want Lowen, I think. If I'm gonna get the STL 1 of 10. But the reason is we went to the Leverkusen game and Berkey looked awful. And Klaus looked awful. That's a big man. He's slow. Might play well in the MLS. I don't know. Probably pretty physical. And they were out of season 2, and so I don't know. Maybe he was a little out of shape or something. He was on a minutes limit. Like they only let him play like 20 minutes or something. But
this is Klaus.
Yeah. He's a large man.
Say, if it was Berkey, you got a big problem if your goalie can only last 20.
Yeah. Yeah, Berkey didn't look real limber, but I don't know. Maybe again, out of season, out of shape a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It was cold.
Yeah.
Are they wearing red?
It's city red. Yeah, city red.
What the hell does that mean?
It's pink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like their regular home kits are pink?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sexy. So do you think? I bet this super rare. Like the pink on the blue is going to look really nice.
Yeah, maybe.
The pink on the red might be a little.
That might look weird.
Do any other teams wear pink?
What's that?
Are there any jerseys on Sorare that are pink? I can't think of any. There's probably like a goalie somewhere that wears pink, but.
Does Acevedo have a pink jersey?
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Because he wore one. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
His newest card.
Right. Yeah, the pink on red is a tough one.
Yeah.
Quickly share it with everyone here. Maybe. There he is.
But remember, it's not pink, it's city red. So
city red, excuse me.
It's gonna look a little different.
Yeah, so this is this is probably pink. They probably call it pink because this is not the St. Louis jersey. Nice card. But I think the super rares probably look better, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Look at that. That pops. Yeah. I like it. Anyway. You don't need to win that card, right? Don't you have that one already anyway?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh.
So
we have the unique.
I do, yeah.
The unique, that's right.
And I did promise a shout out to Win Moon because that's who I bought it from. So shout out.
We started there too, since Win Moon is the latest Mbappe super rare winner.
Yeah, he's the latest one. He's the latest person to win the game.
Well, win part of the game. I don't think that they've won
He won 1/5 of the game.
It might be more, actually. I haven't really looked recently. Let's.
Comment chat. We need Premier League so badly, and it would change the game so much. I want to hear more on why you think that, because I don't know that I 100% agree with that, but I think I'd like to hear why you think that. Oh, Boca Keepers are in pink too. Like, was it Rossi had a card that was?
Oh, for Boca, yeah. How about Wen Moon winning 2 Sergio Ramos super rares?
Oh,
what a weird duplicate. Oh, 2 Medi Teremis. Like, how do you win duplicate super rares? Like, there's so few of them. How? Or maybe that's why, because there's so few of them.
I guess, and yeah, I don't know. And the algorithm that gives you duplicate rewards, because.
So the answer is no.
I promise
it not won the game yet.
I'm all aboard the conspiracy.
I don't understand why it happens so much. There's so many cards on this platform. Well, I don't think Nanzo has an Mbappe anyway, so he hasn't won the game yet. That's why he keeps playing. He says this to go for first, but he really just...
You see some of these, and it's like, you know they have to be dupes for him. Like, he has to own a Kalulu and a Tonali already, and he won both of those.
I think he made a comment about that, of like how many duplicates he wins. But
yeah,
I mean, just to like emphasize how well Nanzo is at this game, these are like his super rare rewards, and it's just like an endless page.
It's insane.
Like, it's just, yeah. I mean, he has 510 of them, so I guess maybe you're bound to have duplicates. I don't know.
86 first places.
86.
Now, if you were to have a leaderboard to like judge who's winning this game, how do you calculate the high score?
We did that at one point internally. I don't remember. I think Zora was first.
But what was the determining factor for that?
I think it was something as simple as like value of reward, total value of rewards. It might have been.
But is that the right metric, you think?
I don't know. I don't.
Because like Zora got lucky and pulled a Mbappe super rare, and boom, got 50 ETH.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how you would determine it, because obviously there are people who are like, oh, I've won, like, is it great to win 30 ETH worth of rewards when you have a 300 ETH gallery, as opposed to 30 ETH of rewards on 30 ETH gallery? Like, there's just, I don't know. I think whichever method you come up with is whatever makes you look the best.
Fair enough.
So, like, I think it's just, if you haven't won Carlos Hill, then you can't be considered one of the best. But I've won one, so I just,
yeah. Going back to what Marco said about the Premier League, is it would open up so many high tier cards into the game. Lots of people's favorite players there, I guess, for rewards. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know how much that like changes everything. I mean, but yeah, I agree. Like, there's definitely cards in there that I would like to win. I'm sure everybody on the platform has a card in the EPL that they're like, that's the one I would like to try to win.
Yeah, I actually don't think there are not nearly as many like elite cards that people think there are.
Yeah. Well,
there are a few, but they're really.
I think there's a lot, but there's not a lot of like those broken like Kikuchi in 2021 type cards where it's just like every week he's banging 80 plus.
Yeah, no, I think it's more just, I think people want to own those cards, but they may not be that great in the game. Like, they want them because they know those guys.
Yeah.
But like, that's why we all want the Premier League, so that other people can come in and be like, oh, okay, I can buy the guys that I've heard of. That's fine.
Sure.
But
Like Harry Kane's probably a good example of a guy that smashes in decisives, scores a ton of goals, but like how often does he score above 80? I don't know, a decent amount.
But I'm saying, like, I think people think there are like 20 or 25 of those players, and I think it's literally closer to like 8.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull something up here that would help me figure that out. Here we go. But yeah, it's like that we don't have, at least like Haaland, but we kind of already do have him. But it's like Kane, Son.
I think the key there is though they can reward it.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how many. Again, I think it's like less than 10 of like true tier 0 ones that everybody like universally you're like excited to win, unless you like happen to like hate one of those teams.
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing Pires winning like Harry Kane, and he would sell that card immediately, I'm guessing.
Right. Well, he's over 23.
Oh, that's true.
He's strictly like a U23 guy. Like
right. For example,
Harry's
an Arsenal fan winning.
Harry's kind of the same way.
That's right. But yeah, I don't know how many guys it actually is, but it just doesn't seem like it's actually that many. A bunch of City guys, De Bruyne back in the prize pool, like that's fun.
I'm still just like killing myself over not buying Trippier. We talked about this like 2 months ago, and the consensus was just go buy Trippier.
Yeah.
I still haven't bought him, and he still has scored like in every EPL game over like 80 this year.
You know what? Oh, you know what, Andy?
I should go buy him?
No.
Okay.
You can buy him with the Carlos Gil money.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, just win Carlos Gil, insta sell, because I think he's still much cheaper, which is like nuts. But
yeah, he is. Although his floor is all the way up to 1.2, Trippier's. But Gil's is like 1.8 or something.
He should be higher than that. But yeah, fun players in the Premier League. I don't think anybody's like killing themselves to go win a Harvey Barnes. That's all. Yeah. Trippier is the 3rd best overall player on the platform right now.
Yeah. I should go buy him.
You know what he can't do? Win Champion America.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's true.
Anyway. Tug's asking first. I think it's a guy named Kylian Mbappe, isn't it? I think he's actually the 1st ranked player. Oh, it's Messi. Excuse me, Messi.
What are we ranking that on? L15 or L40?
L40, it's Messi. L15, it's Messi. And L5 is Messi.
Okay.
So that's how we're doing it.
Okay.
L15, it's Messi, Romelu, whoever that is. I think he's in. Is he in China? Yes. And then Trippier's 3rd. And then L40, it's Messi, Neymar, Kimmich, Douglas Santos, Gakpo, Rodri, Mbappe, De Bruyne, and then Trippier. So that's how. But Trippier just seems way too cheap.
Yeah, you look at the floors of all of those guys, he kind of stands out a little bit. Tadic is right behind him.
Yep.
Is Gakpo's floor is really 1 point? No, that's not his floor. What is that?
His floor is 1.39 now, right?
It is 1.39.
Yeah, but like nobody's buying because he's now at
sure.
Oh, there's Carlos Gil. 1.8. Yeah, I mean, you could sell Gil, get Trippier, and you still have like half an ETH left.
Yeah. Plenty of money to, buy some tier 3s or something with.
Yeah, you pick up a Sin Jin Ho.
I don't know who that is.
He's better than Carlos Gil.
Okay.
That's actually exactly who he should be. You, of all people, should just troll the Carlos Gil by buying the Asian Carlos Gil.
Sin Jin Ho is the Asian Carlos Heel.
I think you could even argue that Carlos Heel is the champion America Sin Jin Ho. That's all. Tuggy's saying Natsuda is better than Carlos Heel, which is true because I had a Natsuda and I sold him because I just didn't want that card anymore. Trippier, Surface saying Trippier gets hurt a lot.
Not in the last calendar year.
Yeah, it was difficult to tell how often he was actually hurt as opposed to Atletico Madrid just not wanting to play him, which is a weird one in itself, but whatever. Is there any cards that we didn't mention that we think would be on the trophy case of anybody who beat the game? I don't think so. I didn't give enough credit to Jude. That's all.
Shame on me. Jimmer and Bob talk about Shin Jin Ho all the time.
Of course, Jimmer has one. Wonder if Jimmer bought his a bunch of years ago or just won it. Let's see here. This is riveting content here. As I look through.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even have one. I feel lied to now.
Yeah, I'm scanning through the L40s. I'm going to look through the L15s to see if there's anybody in there that... of course, Lucas Martinez Cuarta. If you win him, you have won the game. He is number 5 on the list. He plays at Fiorentina.
Who?
Team that I'm not pronouncing correctly. And yeah, he's gone on a little run in the last 15 games, but that's about it.
Oh, L15.
Yeah, his L40 is 59.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he looks good. Let's go buy him.
Wow, Quincy Promise ranks 6th there, huh?
Yeah.
I guess the Russian league is just that broken.
It is. It's really annoying.
Yeah, you got Malcolm.
Thank God they stopped playing for a while.
Wendell. They're all there.
They're all there, yeah.
So we have a couple minutes left here. You might be able to explain this to me, or maybe Sam and chat can. The reason the Russian league is so broken it's because there's so few foreigners left playing in that league. Everybody's left. And a lot of is the only team left that kept their foreigners?
Pretty much. And a lot of the teams are broke, and so they couldn't bring in anyone good. And
why is Zenit not broke?
Because I have no idea. I just know they're not. And somehow have convinced, I think it was Malcolm and I don't think it was Douglas Santos. There were rumors that they were going to get Russian citizenship, which I'm not even going to comment.
It just was weird. Is that not do you not have higher aspirations than the Russian Premier League? I guess we'll just smoke everyone 6-0 and I love my life.
Alex was saying it was Claudinho. That's who it was. Tuggy said it's Putin's favorite team, which I have no idea if it's true or not. But I don't know, because they can't even play in the Champions League anymore. They got thrown out of UEFA. I don't know if
but maybe soon they'll be able to play in the the Asian Cup or whatever.
I think I don't think that's decided yet, but I think it's the only place to go at this point.
Yeah.
And then Sorare's going to have to figure out whether to move them to Champion Asia or not.
Yeah.
Which I assume they would, because every other Asia team is there. So.
Yeah, Sam said Spartak is having a good year, and they still have some of their foreigners as well.
Oh yeah, Multi's saying they basically get paid more there than they would anywhere else.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Interesting. So I think the real question then is, why does Zenit still have money and nobody else has money?
They're funded by Gazprom, which is the local gas or energy company.
Okay.
Everybody needs that.
You get that sweet oil money.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's like a lot of teams. If they have that sweet oil money, they'll do well.
I'm going to finish because Nanzo has joined us here with his take on this. He said, you don't win Sorare. You retire from Sorare eventually. Look back at your Sorare career and question what you did with your life.
Well said. Very well said.
Absolutely perfect. Nanzo, thank you for chiming in on that and putting a nice bow on this gift of a podcast. Thank you to everybody who has joined us live. If you guys could please hit the like button on the video. I see again, many more people watching live right now than have liked the video. So if you could just click that button, very helpful. If you're watching the replay, also available, that like button. So click that too. I will be back next week with Sean for the strategy show. And then Andy and I will be back for another SorareAndrews next week. Once again, thank you for joining us and good luck.